What's up everybody, BigSweetC here with it. Got a special little video for you today. I am so excited to bring this one to you. We are right back with Final Fantasy VII Remake Intermission, the Yuffie DLC, and man, I'm excited to bring this one to you. This was actually probably the hardest, now that we've come to think of it, stuff that I've had to accomplish. And that is the Ultimate Weapon 2.0 trophy for the Yuffie DLC. We were able to take on Shinra's secret weapons. That includes Bahamut, Reimu, and then Pride and Joy Mark 5.0. Now, Pride and Joy we had taken care of with Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith in the first one. This is back now. You can only play as Yuffie and Sonin. And man, this one was fun. It was also kind of raging-inducingly difficult. I mean, to be honest with you, like, I did get some rage, but it was more fun than it was rage-filled. So, you know, I'm not sure why I say that, but this was definitely one of the harder things that I had to do to accomplish any of the trophies in this one. So hopefully this tip and trick will help you out here. So we'll jump right into it. Again, you only have to choose between Yuffie and Sonin. You don't get a choice in this DLC like you do in the original. So those are going to be our two characters. Yuffie is our leader. She's the only one you can play as. Sonin is her companion. As you can see, I have them all up, both up to level 50. And really the key here is the amount of HP that they have. You really want to keep them above, right about 7,000 before you jump into this one, because your goal is to try and keep them right around 5,000 plus pretty much the entire fight in case they break out one of their super attacks. So obviously the higher you get, the better, but roughly speaking, you want them both to have at least 7,000 HP. In terms of their weapons, we'll begin with Yuffie. Yuffie has on her Boomerang. That is the strongest after you max everything out. It also gives you the reprieve if you die once per battle. That's the key, per battle, not just one time through the whole thing, but one time per battle. You don't die, you actually leave one hit point, and well, that came through in the clutch and a couple of times for me as well. I have the Chthonian armlet attached to her. That is the strongest she can get with the 4 Materia slots, and then the ribbon, because a lot of the stuff that they do doesn't just directly tell you, but it actually will hinder you, and so the ribbon is there to protect you from any status anomalies that might spring forth. As far as the materia goes, we have healing maxed with a magnify max. We do this because she is going to be our healer. And the magnify is essentially the all in this game as opposed to calling it all. I have HP up. I have MP up. Another HP up. And ATB stagger materia. So obviously the HP ups and the MP ups make pretty good sense. That's how I was able to get Yuffie up to 7,000 hit points and almost 100 MP. If you max these guys out, obviously you'll have more. I did not have to. I got level 3 on each of them, and that was enough. And then the ATB stagger materia is nice because it gives you now in my case it gives you a medium. If you have it maxed out, it gives you a large ATB boost, meaning as soon as you stagger a foe, then you immediately got all your ATB charge when you do so. Now, I didn't really care about mastering this one out because I didn't really stagger them that often, and unless you're, you know, super super good and a lot better than I am, I'm gonna find it hard to believe that you'll actually stagger either of these guys. Maybe Reimu with his weakness towards wind, and then maybe Pride and Joy Mark 5.0 with its weakness against lightning, but Bahamut's not really weak against anything, so he's kind of a bit harder to stagger. On the bottom slot, we have the fire materia and the elemental combination. So we do this because it halves the linked elemental damage taken, in this case fire. Just like in the original, when Bahamut gets to about 40 to 50% health, he is going to summon Ifrit, and you'll have to take on both of them at the same time. So the fire elemental combination works out great. If you happen to have a maxed elemental, that would be even better because it absorbs the elemental damage taken, and you'll be able to actually save a lot of energy and MP by not having to cure, because you just let Ifrit heal Yuffie for you. I have the cleansing materia and the revival. Revival is more important than the cleansing. I have the cleansing because why not, just in case. And then the revival is important because you'll need to resurrect Sonnen should he go down, or should he use his self-sacrifice if Yuffie goes down. As far as Sonnen goes, we have his Martialist Staff. That's his strongest when you get him all maxed out. Firebird Armlet, again, strongest protection with the 3 materia, and the Kindred Cord. I ended up using a lot of synchronization. The Kindred Cord doesn't use as much ATB gauge if you are using your synchronized attacks. That's why I have that guy attached to Sonnen. As far as his materia goes, we've got the Barrier materia and the Magnify. This is important because Barrier is what's going to protect you from the damage. You're going to want to keep the Barrier and the Mono Ward up as much as possible during the first fight and the last fight. So against Bahamut and against Pride of Joy, the Mono Ward you really want during the Reimu fight, because he's pretty much only magic attacks. And by having the Magnify attached to it, you only have to use it the once, and it affects both players. Ideally, you max out the Barrier so you have the Mana Wall. You don't have to keep using Barrier and Mono Ward. Although I do believe Barrier and Mono Ward by themselves last slightly longer than the Mono Wall does. So take your pick. I was able to get through it without the maxed Barrier. I was only using Barrier and Mono Ward, and I was successful as well. We have his HP up, we have his MP up, Magic up. In this case, I'm not really sure how much this actually helped Sonnen, but I didn't really have anything else to put in there, and it gives you a bunch of boosts in your statistical attributes. The Steadfast Block I also have take even less damage when guarding. Because you can't control Sonnen, he blocks a lot more than Yuffie does, so this actually helps build his ATB gauge. He's got healing maxed out, that way he can heal one person at a time. First Strike Materia allows us to use his ATB gauges right away, which is kind of important. I was able to use the fighting stance that he has and basically distract the enemy towards Sonnen. As Yuffie, I just kind of stood away and threw my shuriken at her, at the enemy. And then Provoke. Provoke if for whatever reason Yuffie goes down, Provoke allows Sonnen to distract the enemy and heal herself up before she does officially go down. One thing I did forget to mention, I have the Carbuncle Materia on Sonnen. This was more of like a backup emergency because of the heal and support. But really on Yuffie, you want to make sure that you have the Reimu Materia. If you can last until the third fight with Pride and Joy Mark 5.0, Reimu will basically take half his life down for you, simply because he's so weak to lightning. The ultimate attack Judgment Bolt in its own basically takes almost 7,000 HP away, which is like 33% of the boss's health points. So huge benefit to bring Reimu in, and especially if you can hold off until that third fight with Pride and Joy to summon anybody. But that was pretty much it. The whole idea when you're fighting Bahamut is to basically focus on Bahamut. Let the Fire Elemental combination protect you from Ifrit when he does come into the fight, but keep the focus on Bahamut. Again, if you remember from our previous tip and trick video, the way to get him down faster is as he's calling in his Mega Flare attack. So when he goes down to hit 1 and then 2, while he's doing that, he's susceptible to physical damage. So pound him as fast and as hard as you can. That's how you get him pressured. And then when he's pressured, he is stunned for several seconds, allowing you to do some more damage and hopefully build up that stagger gauge. When you get into the fight with Reimu, He is weak against wind. That is the opposite form of lightning. So make sure you're using the wind Nujitsu with Yuffie, and you're throwing on that mana barrier with Sonnen. Make sure that you're at least having the amount of damage that you receive from his attacks instead of taking the full brunt of anything. And then when you get to Pride and Joy himself, it is a little tougher. He's got some new stuff. If you tend to stay away, like I do with Yuffie, and you throw the boomerang at the enemy, then he's got this new move where he just constantly shoots little bombs at you. If you have maxed out the fire elemental portion of it, you can actually use the pools of fire that are left by to heal Yuffie as you go along, helping you save some of that much needed MP. Summon Reimu as fast as you can, and you just keep on keeping at it. If he does tend to grab Sonnen, make sure that you attack the right arm. It's the only time you can attack anything other than like the base Pride of Joy is when he's got Sonnen in his grips. If he happens to grab Yuffie, well, you're probably not going to make it this one. So keep at it. This was, like I was saying, this is one of the tougher achievements, trophies. Sorry, they're trophies on PlayStation. One of the tougher trophies that I had to work for to earn here in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and just keep on keeping on, and you'll eventually get him down. As I've said before, if you haven't heard me, this is still probably my pick for the best game since it's come out. If the Video Game Awards were up to me, this would have won last year. It would win again this year. I know I haven't played, I don't think, any of the games that were nominated for Game of the Year, but there's really only one of them that I could think might even have a chance, and that's Metroid Dread. But this game is phenomenal. The battle system in it is wonderful. The graphics are superb. I can't wait to see what it looks like on PC. But the PS5 upgrade is so smooth at the 120 frames per second, and it's such a fluid game, so immersive. You can technically play it in the old traditional turn-based if you want. I've never done it before, so I don't really know how it is. But that's not how this game is supposed to be played. Like, it's supposed to be full speed ahead, and I know technically it slows down time when you are selecting what abilities you want to do, but it does keep going, and if you just sit there thinking that it's paused, well, you're gonna get beat on for a little bit. So do yourself a favor, check this one out. If you got anything from this video, do me that favor, hit that like, hit that sub, hit that notification bell so you know when I do drop a new video or go live. Head on over to Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow me over there at BigSweetC, and become part of the Sweetness family, because I'm loving this, and I can't wait to finally finish. We've only got the 2 trophies left, and that will be the 2 platinums for one game. We platinumed the base game. I don't know if there's actually a platinum trophy for this second part, but I've got 2 achievements left to go. That is to beat the game on hard mode and then beat the boss on hard mode. So I'll achieve them both at the same time, which is fantastic. It's exactly what I wanted to do, so I wouldn't have to come back and replay anything. But this is hands down my favorite game right now. I mean, you could argue back and forth between this and Sekiro. Both of those games are fantastic, and I highly recommend both of them. If you're a PC guy, this comes out on the Epic Game Store on the 16th. That's this Thursday. I know it seems a little pricey at $70, but I mean, honestly, you're getting the PS5 version, and the PS5 version was $70. So I'm not quite sure what all the all the fuss is about. I know it's a little over a year old, maybe 2 now, maybe soon to be 2, but you know, it's a little almost 2 years old. But I don't know. Games are $70 now. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that's what the gaming gods have decided, and I'm not surprised. That's what it is now. But either way, that's going to do it for this one. BigSweetC, that's me. Wishing YouTube that's you. Wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it might be. As long as you're watching, I'm wishing you a wonderful watching time. Sweetness, signing off. Peace.
feel like playing.